Well, this 1 year anniversary. I made it a year from the time, from the night I got arrested for the second time, and they took all my guns and took my money. They've been holding them for a year. I could have got them back Monday, but my back was hurting and I didn't feel like going down there and getting them, fooling with them. So hopefully I'll get them next Monday, which will be fine. I'm just going to turn around and sell them because I don't have any use for them anymore. My movie making days are probably over with. So, Hollywood is a thing of the past, I'm sure. So, there you go. Got some pretty nice pieces. Yes, sir. But that was a year ago. A lot of things have changed in a year. A lot of things have changed. Everything in my life has changed. Nothing is the same as it was last year. I'll guarantee you that much. I don't know how I've survived it with all this going on. And I brought it all on myself, with my own reality. And that's what it is. It's my reality. I have two very distinct realities working in my life right now. One of them is what I experienced and what I saw and what my eyes have been open to and my heart has been spread apart to receive. And I can't wait to return to it. But truth is, I'm living in this mortal reality of my life on this planet. And I asked for the privilege of doing so. So I've got nobody to blame but myself. But I must admit there were extenuating circumstances to all of this. It wasn't just something that popped up out of my imagination, I'll guarantee you that, because I experienced what I did, and that is what has affected this past year with my situation and my struggles and my challenges I've faced and my trying to maintain my sanity in all this. It's not been easy, my friends. It has not been easy. You just don't realize the impact that an experience like this can have on your life. To see things that nobody is supposed to know. And to know them for a fact. For a fact. Because it's real. It's more real than this is. I'll guarantee you. It is more real than this is. Yes, sir. And there's no end to it. There's no limit to it. There's no boundaries for it. It grows exponentially in every direction as time progresses. There is no time in infinity. Time does not exist. It just all expands forever and ever. That's what our Creator has done. That's what He has given us. And so many others. We are not alone. This planet is just one place that our spirits come to experience mortality. Remind them why it is so glorious to be infinite. They live out lives on this planet, and it becomes an experience in infamy. It never dies. That story will last forever. You, my friend, will last forever in the universe. Your spirit may return to Earth multiple times and relive many stories, many lives, in many different forms. You may be a kangaroo next time. Wouldn't that be amazing? Or an eagle, or a fox, or a whale, or a crippled child, or a poor little fellow with Down syndrome, or a little third world child starving with all the abundance in this world because of the warlords and the greed and corruption in their countries. They starve. No, sir. As long as we permit those things to happen, there's no hope for this planet, my friend. We're doomed to face Armageddon, the end times, the four horsemen. They're on their way. I know them well. They are my brothers. Someday they will arrive, and you will know. You will know then. But it'll be too late then. Once they arrive, time's up, babies. No, sir. You got to get your heart right before they get here, because they will not tolerate greed, corruption, foul, evil inclinations, unforgiving hearts. To be forgiven, you must forgive. And if you forgive, if you open up your heart to the forgiveness that's in all of us, because the Spirit of Christ is in all of us, just waiting to be asked to take part in our lives. He waits very patiently, but He waits within each of us. He has waited within me for 68 years. And one day He tapped me and said, "My turn. I'm cutting in. Yes, sir. I'm here. Your world is fixing to flip, my friend. And flip it did. Yes, sir. I'll never be the same. No, sir. I have been to the mountaintop. And I have seen the promised land. And I'm here to tell you, friends, one day we all, as a people, shall get there. I may not make it with you. May not live to see it with you, my friends, but that don't concern me. I'm not worried about, any man tonight. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not worried about any man tonight. 'Cause I'm armed and dangerous. I'm like a Boy Scout. I am prepared. Yes, sir. Prepared for what comes. Whatever comes next. Oh, Lord, I hope it's peaceful. I hope it comes with love. I hope it comes with forgiveness in its heart. And best wishes in its heart. I hope it comes in peace. I want no more strife. I want no more adventure. No, sir. I'm ready to settle down. I've had enough, friends. I've been doing this bit long enough. I'm ready to make a change. I'm done. How's that go? Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I no longer want to be a messenger. I want to deliver my message and fade away. Yes, sir. I want to go away. Bother you no more. Yes, sir. That's what I wish. And soon, I will make that happen. If my Father doesn't beat me to the punch. They are coming for me as we speak. They grow ever closer. But since time has no meaning where they are coming from, I cannot be positive when they will arrive. I only know I sense them growing closer every day. I feel the hum. I feel the... I hear the motors turning in my mind. And that's the way it was when I was in that UFO. I could hear the wheels turning, the motor grinding, time marching on. But I was stuck and there was nothing I could do. I was at the mercy of the system. Be me, Jesus Christ. Be me, a little green man. Be me, a tiny insect, which is what I think I really am. And I just dwell in this man's brain. Then whatever I am, I intend to become exactly that and depart from this reality. If I am allowed to do so. And I pray with all my heartfelt emotion and sincerity that I will be allowed to walk away from what I've experienced this year. I want nothing in return. I just want to distance myself from it. I just want to be allowed to walk away, fade away, go away, leave you in peace. Go off to my own solitude, my own golden years. My own new reality on this planet, and await my rescue. That's what I'm calling it. It won't be my end of time on this planet. It will be my rescue from this existence. That's the way I look at it. It won't be death coming at me. The only thing I cannot tolerate is incarceration, being under someone's thumb. I am not a danger to anyone. I have nothing but peace in my heart. I know that it has not appeared to be that way for the past year because I have been outraged at the lack of compassion. Yes, sir, compassion that has been shown towards me. It has been woefully lacking, friends. And we call ourselves a Christian nation, a Christian people, religious, God-fearing. And just because I had the audacity to make a claim that I might be something special in your life, I have been shunned at every turn. Well, friends, you have judged me for a year. I'm afraid it is your turn to be judged now. That's what awaits you, not me. I have done my time. When I joined the Peace Corps, it wasn't going to be for life. I have fulfilled my mission. You know, I have brought the message to the tribes. I have tried to relay it, that all you need to do to save this world is lay down your prejudice and your jealousy and your greed and your hate for anything not just like it, which I've tried to exhibit at every sermon. I have tried to exhibit just how foul that the hatred of one's fellow man just because of his color or his ethnic background, how horrible it is. Have you not seen me use the foulest of language to talk about folks, from our president to my neighbors to our amigos to the south or our brothers across the ocean, or our Chinese friends, or our Japanese coexistence on this world. Our other friends. I know I've been preaching this is a white man's world. That's the way I saw the afterlife. Everything was white. To me, there was no color difference, no shades of. Everything was white, and yet everything had contrast. You know what I mean? Everything was an individual, but it was all white. Glowing. Not glowing, but like fresh fallen snow. Pristine, clean, and the robes were white. The hair was gray. The eyes were bright. The skin was tan. The forms were muscular and attractive and beautiful and healthy and uniform in appearance. We were all Nordic, as the original gods, the Greek gods were. That's what we are. We're Greek gods. We've been governing this planet for forever. Forever. This is our playground. This is where we amuse ourselves with the games we play. It's virtual reality for the gods. Do you not understand? It is a video game for Zeus, for Jupiter, for Yahweh. This is Yahweh's Grand Theft Auto, if you will, with our gangs and our prostitutes and our racial bias and our greed and our lust for shiny objects and our willingness to be cruel to one another for absolutely no reason, just because we can, just because we can get away with it. Is that a reason to be cruel to another living creature? When I was a boy, I used to kill things, you know. I used to kill birds and squirrels, and I've killed a dog or two, you know. And but it was not out of hatred. It was out of sparing the animal the suffering, you know. Since I've been a teenager, I've not enjoyed ending a life of anything. Maybe a mosquito once in a while, you know, them things get aggravating. But I've never wanted to injure or harm a living soul for my amusement, I'll guarantee you. No, sir. Thank God. I may have been a sinner all my life, but at least deep in my heart, I bore no malice towards other living creatures that have given me no reason to bear malice towards them. Let me put it that way. I have gotten mad a few times and expressed my anger, physical frustration, you know, come out. Anger erupts. harsh words are spoken. The toothpaste is out of the tube and you can't put it back in. What's done is done, my friend. That's something I'm having to live with now. Some of the things I have put out on this airway, on this channel, about my experiences this year have been crude, vulgar, sacrilegious, offensive in the worst ways, racially insulting, humanity insulting. Yes, sir. I have expressed desires to destroy the whole world in a single puff. And when I said it, that's how I felt with how my quest was going, my mission was going. Because in June of 2017, while I was incarcerated in the Dallas County Jail, I visited the next plane of existence that we travel to when we leave this physical form behind on this world, and our spirit leaves our physical body and journeys on into eternal bliss and life that never ends. These lives we live are just stories written out for our spirits to play. My Father, who to me in heaven, he was represented by a beautiful man. Yes, sir. A man with a soul, with feelings, with heart, with emotion. And his name was Hank Williams. That was the form he took here on this planet in recent times. Yes, sir. My father visits this planet. He lives a life, yes, sir. He's infinite just like we are. And he likes to have stories, too. You know what I mean? He likes to feel things and sense things and, yes, sir. So he was Hank Williams. And he allowed his children to become the stars of country music today. Yes, sir. And in yesteryear, since his being here. People like Willie and Waylon and Johnny Cash and Johnny Paycheck and Freddie Fender and Johnny Rodriguez and George Jones and Merle Haggard and Emmylou Harris and David Allan Coe and Tom Jones and Young Rascals and ZZ Top and Three Dog Night. Yes, sir. They're all God's children. We are all God's children. Some of us are designated drivers. Some of us are paying penance, shall I say, for past transgressions. And when we come back and repeat this life, it's tougher. Yes, sir. If you evolve enough in one lifetime to progress on and have a choice on whether you want to return or whether you want to remain in the afterlife and come back at your leisure. Once you have achieved a certain level, that is what infinity's all about. You get to come back and live life here and there, and you know, you get to do this, and you get to go over and be a Martian for a while, and you know, you get to go live on Pluto for a little while, You can come back and be a giraffe or be a tiger. Or you can come back and be a whale, a humpback whale swimming around. Or you can come back and be an eagle. Or you can come back and be a Baptist preacher if you want to. You can come back and be president of the United States. You can come back and be a mass murderer. You can come back and be a prostitute. You can come back and be a Hugh Hefner, you know. You can come back and be Larry Flint, you know. I used to read it in magazines, yes sir. He helped shape my younger years. Pornography, sexual desire, lust, cravings, desires that were impossible to be met by a loving woman. Yeah, that was never enough for me. No, sir. I was never satisfied, and that's my fault. I lost so much being that way. But it's the way my experiences have shaped me. I'm not talking about the ones I've had as Gary Lynn Hedden. No, sir. I'm not talking about the ones I've had as a 69-year-old white man from Dallas who visited the afterlife and came back with a tale to tell. No, sir. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the many lifetimes I have experienced on this planet. And I saw a preview of them when I was incarcerated and in the UFO and traveling to eternity. I passed through those lives as I was gone, as I was on my journey. I was in Vietnam. I was in World War II in that time era. I was in the American Revolutionary War. I was, a farmer, tilling the dirt. I was in Rome as a beggar. I was a prostitute in Greece. I was a sculptor in Mazatlan, Atlantis, who knows? So many lives, so many experiences. And as I traveled to eternity, I flashed through those lives and retained a little bit of it, of the spirit of it, of the feelings and of the memories and emotions and the smells and the textures and the flavors of that experience. Baby dolls, when I went on my near-death experience, it didn't last no 15 minutes till they revived me. No, sir. My trip took at least 21 days. That's unaccounted time I spent incarcerated. I was admitted to the infirmary on June the 1st. I came to in the hospital around June 21st, 22nd, something like that. Then spent the next 6 weeks recuperating from my 3 weeks of missing time. Yes, sir. That's my dilemma. That's the problem I have been dealing with for the past year. That's why I have lost my grip on everything I have ever treasured or cared about. That's why I have no future. If I do not get this sorted out in my own mind I cannot continue this existence. I cannot go through the rest of my life as confused and unsure about what I should do. I should just drop everything. I should just forget it all. I should just walk away. Ta-ta. But God will not allow it. He will not let me forget. He wakes me when I sleep. My dreams are full of my experiences that I went through. I felt every minute of the time I was locked away. I was beaten, starved, forced to take drugs, pills. I forget how many, at least 8 or 10 a day. If I didn't take my pills, I didn't get fed. So I took my pills, I had to. But I was caged like an animal, forced to endure suffering that there was no reason for. My body was broken and bruised and battered from the treatment I had endured up until the time I was put in that cage. So I was put in there to die, friends, and that's what happened eventually. Yes, sir. Eventually it did happen. Eventually, that cage became part of a UFO, a craft that travels through time and space. And I was a passenger on it. And it was reminiscent of the jail. It was just like the jail I had left, except everything was a little bit out of sync, a little bit out of time, a little bit out of focus maybe in the timeline. Or I was a little bit out of time. I was traveling through time as the craft traveled forward. And I thought, and still do, that my guards were mechanical beings because they were programmed and I could control their emotions using Morse code, which I learned in the military. So, I learned how to eat supper twice. And that was a big deal for me, buddy. I'd been in the dungeon there for quite a while, and I was weak, and I was abused, and I was tortured, and my mind could not comprehend what was happening to me. And why? Why me? What have I done to deserve this? What did I do? Did I win the lottery? I don't think so. No, sir. All I did was open myself up to enjoyment and seek happiness and gaiety in the rest of my life, trying to make my life into something special for what was left of it. What's the harm in that? Isn't that what we all try to do? Try to be the most exciting, best life we can have? My God. Otherwise, you'd be living like I have been since January the 2nd. Stuck in my house. Scared to walk my dog. Scared to ride my motorcycle. Afraid I'll get stopped by the police and locked up again. And if I do, I got nobody to turn to. Can't find legal representation, nobody will take my case without big upfront money. Got one lawyer that told me if I get arrested again to call him, he'll come bond me out. So I'm praying that Charlie is on the square with me. I'm praying that he will help me get out at least. I will give him all I own if he does, because that is what I cannot abide, is to be incarcerated. I would rather be executed. Because that's quick. Incarceration is slow death for me. Slow death. Because I cannot endure having to exist on what the system provides for me to exist upon. I am not a homeless illiterate living on the streets, zapped out by drugs, confused since childhood, person with severe emotional trauma, and I'm not that. For the past year, I have been suffering from what I have been calling post-traumatic stress disorder, from what happened to me while I was in jail. Because every time I get out and start thinking about it, I get mad, and I get excited, and I get in a state of grace, I've been calling it, because the Spirit takes over in me, and I cannot control the actions of the Holy Spirit. I cannot do it. I cannot say, y'all gonna get me thrown in jail if you keep this up. No, sir. They do not listen. The spirits that are within me, or the Spirit, whatever it is, I cannot be sure. I do not know. There may be 100 of them in there for all I know. I know they're in each of us. To what degree is, who will ever know? But it doesn't matter. As long as they're content, then we can be peaceful, loving creatures. When their contentment gets out of balance and they're not really enjoying their stay, they can get cranky, and they can cause us to have all kinds of behavioral problems, my friends. They can cause us to become very evil in our thoughts and our deeds and our wishes for our fellow man. They can just make us so intolerant that we just cannot abide anything that does not conform to what we consider to be beautiful and perfect. That's right. If it's not exactly what we think it should be, then we cannot tolerate it. We may put up with it if we have to, but as far as tolerating, no, sir. If we got our druthers, we'd just soon not. Thank you very much. That's just like the minorities and the majorities getting along. Black man getting along with white man. White man getting along with brown man. Brown man getting along with yellow man. Yellow man getting along with red man. Red man getting along with black man. Black man getting along with white man again. And just take it back the other way around. I mean, it's a one-on-one basis. The only way to get along with other people is to get along with them one-on-one. You know what I mean? Get along with your neighbor first. Then get along with the guy up the street. Then get along with the guy across town, or get along with the guy you work with. Or get along with the guy you see on the news, or, you got to take it a step at a time, Learn to get along. Don't just get along when it's convenient. Heck, man. I love Hispanic folks, African American, Oriental descent, Middle Eastern folks, Canadians, folks from Hawaii, Eskimos, Aborigines. I love folks, you know. I just love people. I love people. I enjoy being around people, you know. Doesn't matter what color. I mean, people are fun and entertaining if you let them be. And if they want to be. You know, if they look at you with the same love for you that you have for them, you know, respect, well, it's not hard to get along. You know? But let the least little old thing happen, you know? And it's, damn, racial prejudice or something. You prejudiced, you know? Well, that works both ways. You know, white man's been prejudiced for a long time, but so has the black man. And I don't